This has been pending for a while because I haven't had the energy. You know, this year has been a difficult year with mourning and trying to understand a little bit what direction I'm going in, who I am without David. I mean, I know who I am as an artist, it's not the issue, but it's sort of trying to find out what my future is going to be, how I'm going to organize that. I don't want to do anything that takes up time from my artwork, so I need to just be here, and I'm happy here. These were the pieces that were by David's bed in the hospital. You don't see the wound and the tears right away. Here you do. You see the reality of it. And then there's the poem. This is a kind of grief that everybody goes through at one point or another. To lose a loved one. See, so the skin here is darker. And darker still. I have everything on wheels because I'm alone. And if I don't have things on wheels, I can't do anything, you know? I can't move the furniture by myself. All right. I told you why he's called Fred, right? No? So this is really the first work I actually did after his death. In the midst of things that were difficult, we had lots of humor. He doesn't think that without muscles, he won't be able to stay in the position very long, unless he trains like a dancer. I think that they made a mistake on one of the hands, you see? He wants someone to give him some advice. And then here, he's all sort of scrunched up, and here's where I say he's bent over and squashed and scrunched up in a hole, and like an old human fossil, a prehistoric troll, where all that is left of my mind is my soul. I puzzle and doubt, ask many questions like, where am I from? And where will I go? Why am I here? I've got the jaw off, getting the jaw back on. He's trying to be frightening. And here, he's holding the world. Yeah, that one fits. This goes here. I have an entire sort of library of faces of friends. I'm hoping that I'll be able to do most of them, because I really want a population. Just try and imagine hundreds of these, in different ways and form. There's something about their soul, or my soul that goes into their soul, or back and forth. There's something about the exchange. Sylvia is an artist and an architect. I don't know exactly what she's looking for, but she's searching. And she tries to get out of her own skin in a certain way. And she keeps looking somewhere for some kind of an identity. Ooh. The astronaut theme is actually the theme of immigration. In my story, they want to leave because they want to have a better place to live. At the same time, they will take problems with them. They won't escape that. It's very hard to get a car in. The question of where to go, where we're going to go with the work, is never ending. All the stuff you see in the studio doesn't always work together. Then you take it out and it changes completely. They have a different context, a different look, and you can see if they work or they don't work. So these landscapes have only hints at things that had been lived and things that could be lived later, or transformation of an environment that you knew. And part of one's inner life which comes out as an emotion into the paintings.
Si può mettere uno a faccia in su, un bel po' di carta.
I paint. I'm confined to the paint. I'm confined to my canvas, to the size of my board or my canvas. But my mind is not confined to any of it. What I strive to do when I work is to try and convey that into a finite space. It's just a question of not actually worrying about the limits. Because if I were to sit and worry and think about those limits, then I wouldn't get anything done.
Okay, we're on our way.
We're going to the music conservatory called the Villa Favard. It's a national Florence conservatory. It's where David taught for 40 years. And I'm going to try and drive up all the way to the gate that goes, the automatic gate, and ask them if they can let us in for the time. Because otherwise we have to carry everything down that alley. As two artists together, we really gave each other full freedom. We never got in the way of each other's either psychological or territorial needs, which is important. Okay, I'm going to unload here. Where is best unload over there? That's good, because we can unload there. That's good. I like science fiction very much. I've always enjoyed it. Taking the spectator into what it would be to be living in another completely different environment. I tend to feel that they need a man-made spot. But it doesn't mean that I'm right. I have no idea. It could be that someone else looks at them and has a very different and a much wider vision than mine. But they look like a beginning of a population. It is artificial. I'm creating this, and it's not a thing that's real, but you hope that it'll bring the spectator into a sense of mystery, because that's what you really want to find. On any planet where there's life, there's going to be something weird going on. Some weird bacteria, or we're going to find weird insects or something. So, in a way, I can imagine that it's a spider that got caught in one of the spacecraft, and then if they land on Mars or any other place, and they will mutate. It's strange because there are two me's. There's me as I was in a couple, and then me as a painter. I always look for some moment of light. At least in these paintings I did. For example, here I have the reflection of the sun. So there's a sun. These paintings, all of them have a woman in them. She was made completely, and then she's covered up. For me, it was the soul of the painting. She's not there, but for you to see as a spectator, but it made my work with it live, like I was having a dialogue. And then, no longer necessary, I just painted over. So if you take an X-ray, you'll see some of them have this figure inside. Someone asked me, so wasn't like burying someone alive? I said, no. This is, I created her. And as I created her, I can also take her away. She's underneath everything. So. Yeah, this is definitely going to be, I think, better. At least better. Thin work on the edge. See, now you feel that. You don't feel that anymore. But when I'm starting a painting, I like to be alone. I wouldn't let you film me. I need privacy for that. See, I'm trying to more or less understand how this will look. I find it important just to pretend that that space, which is actually a physical space, is infinite. I'll proportionately make it, put another half size on either side. I was a little surprised again at my uncomfortableness at moving from one environment to the next. That was hard. On the other hand, it opens up certain ideas of what to do, where to go. Yeah, where to go with it. Yeah, there's less of a transition. I mean, there's a less noticeable transition. This is my dad's brush. I always think of him. But I feel that my work is evolving a lot. This is something which I've looked forward to all my life, to this moment in my work. And that's where kind of a euphoria comes in, because you can't help it. You sort of are brought beyond yourself in that sense while you work. Sorry, I have to concentrate here. And this is getting dark. I mean, it's getting almost too dark to paint. I wanted a sense of that strong light that you get in space with something that's like a supernova or something that's exploding. Well, we'll see when I'm done, whether it works. But